Welcome back to Life Above Type 2 Diabetes Reversal channel, where we uncover the truth about reversing type 2 diabetes using practical biblical principles guaranteed to set you free from this disease. I am Barbara Samuels, your guide on this journey to helping you reclaim your life and vitality and take it back completely from type 2 diabetes. Today we're going to dive into a surprising mistake that could be sabotaging your blood sugar control and keeping you on that forever roller coasters of up today, down tomorrow, wondering whether or not you have made the right choice, or sometimes doubting yourself and the process of reversal. In Hosea 4 verse 6, it says, "My people are destroyed because of lack of knowledge, but fear not." By the end of this video, we're going to provide you with the knowledge and tools that you need that could break free from this cycle and put you on a path to health and wellness and a life above type 2 diabetes. Let me share the story of Clive with you. So Clive, like so many other diabetics, was making the simple mistake that was keeping him stuck with type 2 diabetes, leading him to feel frustrated. You see, he was doing everything that he knew how to do and that he was told to do, and yet he wasn't seeing the results. You see, to make things a little bit more complicated, Clive was a healthcare provider, and he had taught so many individuals of how to follow the steps that he thought was right was to reverse type 2 diabetes. But of course, like all healthcare providers who are in healthcare, following the way that we've always been taught will show clearly it doesn't really relieve you or reverse your type 2 diabetes. It just shows you how to control it. But Clive wanted a better life. You see, Clive had a heart attack and was very scared of any other complications. And so he did everything he could. But he was making this little mistake that he did not know was having such a great impact. You see, Clive was focusing so much on having a low carb, eating a small amount, counting his carbs. But as he made the changes, so his blood sugar go up, so it went down. His A1C started getting worse to the point where he had started having challenges with his kidney and was going in and was now into stage 4 kidney disease. And so, of course, when he started our program, we started to teach him how to eat a whole carb, low fat diet. Little did he know that the oils and fat that he was putting in his diet was actually causing him more harm than good. You see, he was focusing on reducing the carb, but the oils and fat was becoming his detriment. Yes, it was causing him to have no control over his blood glucose level. Thus, the insulin resistance was becoming worse. You see, the key to reversing type 2 diabetes lies in the fat insulin connection. Unknown to most people, their focus have always been on having a low carb diet. What most individuals don't know is that both glucose and fats are mutual exclusive fuel for the body. However, the difference is, whereas glucose needs like a key to get into the cells so that it can be utilized for energy, fats doesn't. And so when we eat foods that are high in fats, including processed oil, which is one of the most processed foods on the planet, they just slide on up into the cells and there's no room for the glucose. So what happens is that even though you may be eating a lower carb meal and doing all the things you think, your blood glucose level keeps going up. And that is directly attributed to the fat inside of the cells in the area where it was not designed to be. See, dating back to the 1920s, pioneer like Sweeney and Dr. Kemper discovered the fat insulin connection and the underlying cause of being insulin resistant. In 1970, Dr. Anderson solidified this by helping his clients to reverse type 2 diabetes and kidney disease by feeding them a primarily low-fat, high-fiber diet. So what's the simple mistake you're making and what's the solution? Well, the simple mistake is that most people are so focusing on the carb, which is not your foe but your friend, and not paying attention to the fats and the oils that they use in cooking. And this is directly contributing to the increase in complications and the many deaths from type 2 diabetes. What's the solution, you may ask? The solution is simple, and it's simply to move to a low fat, high fiber diet by eliminating oils. Yes, oils such as coconut oil and olive oil. You see, oils are so processed that they have no nutritional value and they cause you more harm. So eliminating oil from your diet by going to using things like maybe sauteing your meals, as definitely sauteing meals in water and vegetable broth, replacing those fats that you usually eat with naturally occurring fats like avocados and nuts, of course at a moderate level. And most importantly, one of the things you can do, when you're making changes into anything, and we should know, I know, because at the beginning of understanding this fat insulin connection, it was kind of hard for me to wrap my mind around in terms of putting it in my lifestyle. Because what I find is that if I'm asking my clients to make a change, I must be able to make that change so I can better help them to identify some of the challenges and how to navigate them. So of course, when I started going on an oil-free approach, I had to learn how to cook the foods that I usually cook without the oils. And this is where number 3 solution, I want to offer you a free copy of my Type 2 Diabetes Reversal recipe book with 42 oil-free recipes that is guaranteed to help you lower your blood glucose level, lower your hemoglobin A1C, and get you on the path to a life without type 2 diabetes. I want you to remember one simple thing, is that lack of knowledge, sometimes we perish, not because we don't have the desire or the motivation to do it, but we are embarking on a path that's not going to lead us to life. You see, the most important thing you have to also remember is that you, my dear, was created, designed, and equipped with a magnificent healing machine, the human body, that when we give it the right thing and when we understand and have a knowledge of how it works, we can come alongside this magnificent organ and it can heal and restore itself. You have all that you need. Reversing type 2 diabetes is a difference between what you know and practice and what you don't know. The Life Above Type 2 Diabetes approach helps you to put practical steps based on biblical wisdom in your everyday life that make your journey one of continuous, progressive, upward trends to live life above type 2 diabetes. I must add that, reversing type 2 diabetes, you have to bear in mind that type 2 diabetes will always be in this world. But when you practice biblical principles, you can always live life above it, not having to worry about whether or not this is going to take my life or take my limb. Remember, the simple mistake that you might be making that is keeping you stuck with type 2 diabetes is by not focusing on removing the oils and focusing so much on the carbs. You see, a high fiber whole carb diet is good for you, but a high fat diet, especially processed fats like oils, will mean the difference between life and death, will mean the difference whether you live life or you live with complications. Remember, like, share, and please subscribe to my channel where we will continue to teach you biblical principles that you can apply right now to get you on the path of life without type 2 diabetes and without dependence on drugs. Have a great day.